What's all the PMS with Coach G? It's positively motivating sisters with purpose, meaning, style. Are you ready for positive conversations inspiring you to your next level? Do you need motivation to get you growing? Are you a sister, woman, leader, boss, mom, wife, female, her, she? I think you know what I mean. Are you seeking purpose in your life? Do you know the meaning for which you stand? Do you know your style is your unique authenticator? If you answered yes to any one of these questions, this podcast is designed with you in mind, which embodies the whole you, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually. Sisters, we are on a journey in connecting you from where you are to your what's next with purpose, meaning, style, and it all starts with you. Welcome. This is season 2. We are in episode 44. Hello, I am Coach G. We are here to win. Think of me as your personal PMS cheerleader, motivating and wanting to see you succeed in your personal and professional life. Your connector, guiding you and bridging the gap from where you are to your what's next. I am CEO and founder of G Style Coaching. I am your growth coach, empowerment speaker, mom, wife, Christian, and I get to do what I am passionate about. Sisters, we are on a journey for you living your life on purpose, for purpose, with purpose, meaning, style. We have a queen with us today. I am so happy to introduce you Janet M. Taylor. She is an organizing expert, speaker, podcast host, producer, and in 1994, Janet took her natural ability and started Totally Organized LLC. Her clients have included celebrities such as Les Brown and Diana Williams. For 3 consecutive years, Totally Organized was recognized as one of the top minority firms by the Philadelphia Business Journal. And why am I calling her a queen? Well, for one, she is. But in April 2018, Janet appeared on the Rachael Ray show where she was crowned the Clutter-Free Queen. So you know we got the right person in the house tonight. Today, I'm talking about tonight. She is also the podcast host and producer of Got Clutter, Get Organized. Streamed via iTunes and was ranked #1 in the top indie home and garden chart and #1 in the top 100 home and garden chart. Now you see why she is the queen of our topic today, which is get organized, simplify your life. Thank you, Janet, so much for showing up and sharing this time with me and our listeners.
I am excited to be here today with you, Coach G. I can't wait to get started on our conversation.
I am too. And you know, we are in 2023. And this is it's episode 44, but it's our second episode for 2023. So, you know, you're like right at the top of the list. And I think it's a reason for that. You know, we come into a new year, we like, okay, I need to get organized because things maybe got a little chaotic for you during the holidays. And now it's like, okay, I need to get some stuff in order. This is going to be fun. You know why? Because today is actually National Clean Your Desk Day. Wow. And I'm sure after the holidays, we have some cleaning and organizing to do. Don't you agree, Jen? I'm sure from your experience.
Yes, because you get all those wonderful things for the holiday. Now you have to make room for those, but also maybe let go of some things that are no longer useful.
Yes. Okay. And sometimes we don't know how to let those things go, but I'm sure you're going to give us some little pointers on that. So being organized is not a new feat for you because it all started with you as a child. You know, so I remember reading that. I was like, this is so amazing. You know, they say go back to your childhood, right? And you can just see things because we're so innocent in what we're doing. And it's the gifts in you that you're already operating in. So how did you discover this to be something you were passionate about and purpose to do?
So I was in the midst of, I worked for a company I really loved, but they had lost a contract. So we're in the midst of getting laid off back then. And I came across an article of a woman who was going into companies and talking about how they could be more organized. And then I started thinking about a lot of people were telling me how I was so organized. And whenever my coworkers needed something like a stapler, they said, we know we can come to you, Janet, because there it is right there on your desk. So I started doing like a little bit of research and I found out there was a national chapter, of organizers. There was a local chapter of organizers which I connected with, and it just really began to give me, that I kind of green light to just really move forward with what I really love doing. And also the fact that I was still living at home with my mother made it a lot more easier for me to do that transition from an employee to an entrepreneur.
Yes, wow. That's great. So let's talk about, you know, well, in organizing, there is some transition. Just like you said, after the holidays, you have all this club, all these things. It's like, okay, there's some things I need to get rid of, and some things I need to put in that place or whatever. What would you say is the importance of organization in our lives?
It really helps us save time, but
Mhm.
also save money.
Mm.
Because just think when you are leaving your house, you want to be able to find your keys, make sure your shoes match, get that coat and have everything that you need, whether it's in your pocketbook, your backpack, or your tote, so you can go out and you don't have to come back and forth thinking, oh, I forgot this. So it saves you the time, but also saves you money as well, because it's almost like you know what your inventory is in your home. You may decide, what, I'm going to stay in today. I'm going to do some baking, some cooking, and you can open up your pantries and know exactly what you have in order to create all of those dishes that you want. But also, maybe you're looking for an ink cartridge because you're printing something, whether in your home office uh, or or maybe just the kids need to do a project, but you already know you have that cartridge and you don't have to go out, get in your car, use gas, stand in line, which is wasting time to get something that you already have in your home. So it saves you time and it also saves you money.
And I think we want a lot of that. We want to save time and save money. When you save time, now you have time to do other things that you can enjoy in
Mm-hmm.
life, so
That's
it gives you some space to enjoy other things, and then money. Who doesn't want to save money?
yeah,
Wow.
because I want to share a story. So I was helping a woman. She wanted her daughters to get a little bit more organized. And we were going through the closet. And she came across several dresses she had bought the year before. She said, I bought them. I knew I bought them, but I forgot about them. And they were like beautiful dresses, but you know how children are, they grow. So the next year she couldn't wear them. And those were beautiful dresses that she had invested in. But, the daughter never got a chance to wear them because she just kind of shoved them in a closet somewhere. So it does really think about save you some money.
Well, yeah, and I want to save some money. I'm gonna need help with that one. So, let's talk about we because we did say today was National Clean Your Desk Day. What tips would you offer, to someone to clean and clear the clutter from their desk?
Well, the first thing I would say is just think about when was the last time you really cleared off your desk. If it's been 6 months or a year, take a time and just clear everything off your desk, because just seeing the top of your clear desk will motivate you not to put a lot of the things back on your desk. So that's the first thing. Give it just a nice, start with a clean slate. And then just only put things that you really need to use and love to use. Now, I personally like a clear desk, which is why I have a bookcase behind me, because those things that sometimes people normally put on a desk, like the pencil cup or the letter tray, it goes on my bookshelf. So, decide how you really want to function in the new year. But
Mm.
also, at the end of your workday, really try to clear your desk. Maybe just organize what you're working on, your projects, etc., so that you can actually see the top of your desk when you come in. Because what that does, it really kind of makes you more strategic that next workday. Because you're not just kind of trying to figure out, okay, I got to clear this off, I got to do this. No, you will actually know what you need to do and you'll be more strategic. So, of course, you'll save time as well. But also, just like a little tip in regards to just kind of just trying to figure out all of that stuff in regards to our workspace, 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again.
Mm.
That's just 80% of all the stuff you think, oh, I need this. And just begin to, do some paperless things. We've got these wonderful printers, begin scanning things that you really want to hold on to. And also making sure, in addition to your physical desk and just being more productive in the new year, is making sure those folders on your devices, whether it's your laptop or your desktop, is more organized so that, again, you can save time so that when you are working, whether you are, working and you need to, some uh, email a report to someone else, a colleague, or maybe you just need to kind of pull up the family budget. You're not wasting time scrolling and just finding things and
You know
trying to
what?
find stuff.
Right. And you know what I think of when I think clutter, when I think of a cluttered desk, for me, my own experience, when my desk is cluttered, my mind gets a little cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't think of, okay, what was I doing? Oh, what now I feel like I'm all over the place because
Mm-hmm.
literally my desk look like it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way you said at the end of the day, just clear it. You know, it's almost like you said, being strategic. That's a strategy even in itself to say, okay, I'm gonna strategically put this here on my desk. So when I come to my desk in the morning or whenever you come to your desk to work, now, oh, this is where I need to start. Very great tip. Sometimes, what happens, and I'm going to ask you this, what happens when, like for me, I can get so many things at once. And now I see I'm piling. I have journals for days, right? So I can grab a journal, write something down, get another journal, write something down. And then I have all this, my calendar, like 3 or 4 journals, the papers that I just printed. And I don't want to move them out of the way because it's like, I want to remember that. I want to remember that. So how would you say a person can bring order to themselves in the sense of I have all this that I need, but I need to bring order to this right now. Because
Okay.
it's like chaotic. It's just like a lot of stuff, but you all need it at that moment. At least
Mm-hmm.
it feels that way.
Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to you, Coach G. So one of the things sometimes I suggest for people who are very visual, because they need to, excuse me, see things visually, and sometimes lists. Now I have like 2 whiteboards. I have one whiteboard that just is all a list of all of my upcoming trainings that I have to do for a client. But then I have another whiteboard that has all of the things that I want to do in regards to, my consulting and my business, etc. And then I have a huge post-it that has it's like 4 things I have to do every month, but I broke it down. So each month I have a list and then I just kind of check that list and this is what I need to do. But in regards to the things, what I do is I actually have folders for each day of the week.
Love
And
that.
so as I prepare, like, before I end my day, I always like clear my desk, but I also make sure what do I need tomorrow? So, and then I put that in my folder, which kind of goes behind me in my little 3-tier basket. So that kind of helps me, whether it's a folder, whether it's a piece of paper, whether it's a binder, well, not necessarily a binder, but those little notebooks, it goes into my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I have like 6 days because there's sometimes I do work on a Saturday.
Okay.
And that helps me. So then when I come in the morning, I just have all the things that I need, but it doesn't necessarily have to be on my desk, but I do have it accessible. And then as I slowly, work through those things, then I'm like, is this something I'm going to be working on the next day or is it 2 days from now? And if it's 2 days from now, then I'll put it in that folder. So that
Mm-hmm.
way, one, it'll be right there when I need it, but it will no longer be on my desk. And also, when you were talking, one of the things I wanted to share is that they're finding with studies that multitasking is not necessarily the best way to use our time because they're finding with multitasking, it actually takes us twice as long to do something. So always try to think of just doing something, finishing it, getting it off of your to-do list and moving on to the next. Because when you multitask, you're doing 2 things and your focus is going in 2 different directions. Now,
Right.
I do suggest sometimes multitasking is good when you're doing things in the house. You want to
Uh-huh.
put a load of laundry in, but also you want to start cooking
That's
maybe
good.
something in a meal prep. So that's where I would kind of use multitasking. But when you are working, single task, single focus is what they're calling it, is a better use of our time.
Oh, I love it. And it's funny you said that. I did read that not too long ago. It's been a few months maybe. And I was like, wow, I never thought about it really in that way. And I love it. I'm single focused. So I have a new strategy that I'll be very intentional about as I, move forward in 2023. I am going to have folders for each day of the week. This is, I always say be open to learn. We're
Mm-hmm.
always learning and growing, and that's what growth is. And to me, that's a win today for me.
And then
And
also what I would suggest is that you get the folders with the pockets.
oh,
Because just in case,
yeah,
sometimes you do have a little scrap of paper. I mean, granted, I do believe people need to get rid of them, but sometimes you do. And that way you won't have to worry about it getting lost,
love
falling
it.
out. Yeah, so get the folders with pockets.
Well, you know what? I already have those. It's not that I'm just like this totally disorganized person, but you like the
Yay.
queen of organization, Clutter-Free Queen. I know I had to get some tips from you today, and I hope that our listeners are too as well. So I want to ask you, since we have the Clutter-Free Queen with us, I just keep saying that because it
Well,
clearly,
there's the crown.
yes, there it is, there it is. And I know for those that are listening, it's like, well, I don't see it. Eventually we will be video, but you know what? You may go to social media and then I'll snap that shot where you can see that queen, that crown behind her, because she has definitely been crowned the queen. So, can you crown us with the Simplify Your Life PMS tip? As we set the stage and getting and staying organized in our life and business, moving forward in this new year and just really being intentional, not just because it's 2023, but for the remainder of your days in life and just keep growing in that area.
So there's so many things, there's so many little tips just dancing around in my head.
Hey, it's
so
okay. You can give us the bonus. That's like the cherry on top. I'm good with the icing and the cherry on
so
top.
well, one of the things is I don't want people in this new year to get too overwhelmed with like, oh my goodness, there's so many things I need to organize in my life. Try to narrow it down to really, I always tell people one area at a time and just focus and just do that one area. But and just trying to decide, well, what should I do and where should I start? Think about the things that maybe cause you stress and strains. For example, maybe right now you're not getting a good night's sleep. Well, then why don't you just start in your bedroom? Clear the clutter out in your bedroom, because think about it. That's the first place you are when you wake up in the morning, and it's the last place after a full day of working and family, etc. So just clear, the tops of those dressers, those side tables, get those clothes in the closet that belong and the ones that don't belong. Out. But maybe you decided this is a year to be healthy. So then work on that kitchen. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you just like, Janet, I just want to be able to come home and not trip over a shoe. Get a shoe rack by the front door and just start, when you come home and you take your shoes off, put your shoes on the shoe rack. If you have children, get them into the habit so that therefore when you come in, the shoes will be on the shoe rack, discipline everybody to hang their coats up, and then sometimes maybe get a little system, whether it's a hook for your keys, depending on, your mask, all those other little things. So those are just some things on just what to really, think about in regards to, but also, as I shared earlier, Coach G, is, 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again. So think about that. But they also saying that we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. So just begin to think about all the things in your home and your life. And, if you spend just an hour a week getting organized, that's 52 hours you would have spent within a year's time. So just take a little bit of time. Do one junk drawer at a time. Do one shelf at a time. Just get rid of things. But in regards to your time, because maybe that's an issue, just realize that 15 minutes of planning saves you an hour. So that's something you can do at the end of your day. You can say, okay, this is what I'm going to wear. This is where my keys are. My shoes are here. All the stuff I need is in my bag, my tote, etc. So 15 minutes will save you an hour. And also you can do that sometimes even at your desk before you sign off. Just take a few minutes. Just be strategic about what you need to focus on the next day. So when you come in, you will know what to do. But then also they're finding if we spend an hour in planning, it saves 3 to 4. So that could be maybe you've decided, you know what, I'm going to tackle the garage. Well, plan how you're going to tackle it, what day you're going to do it, what do you need, etc. So do that pre-planning before you roll up your sleeves and go in there. But also something I do every week is I have my planning session with Janet. Now, of course, for people who have spouses, have children, other people in the household, get them involved. But basically, I sit down and I'm very strategic. I already know what my work schedule is going to be like. But then, of course, I have to incorporate everything else. I've got to do laundry. I've got to do cleaning. I've got to do grocery shopping and whatever else. So that way it kind of gives you more balance over your time in your life where you're maybe doing things throughout the week and not necessarily doing everything on Saturday. Because that was one of the things I wanted to break the habit, Coach G, of my mother. My mother she would work during the week, and then every Saturday she would do the laundry and the grocery shopping and clean and cook. And I'm like, I want to have fun on Saturday. So that's why I incorporate. It's like, okay, I'm working a little late on this day, so I can do some grocery shopping in the morning. Okay, so I'm getting off at this time, so I can do some laundry. And then I've just figured out how to do the cleaning throughout the week as well. So those are just some strategies that I hope will help your listeners.
And I love every bit of it, that part. I always say it's one step at a time. In coaching, I always say it's that one step at a time. So when you say one area at a time, it's like, just focus on that one area at a time. And then I love the way you say, the part of planning, when you put the pre-planning in it, it's going to save you time. Where all I could hear is people saying, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. But you have 24 hours in a day, and in that, if you just like you said, 15 minutes of planning will save you an hour. So look at, what did you say earlier? Saving time and saving money.
Mm-hmm. And that's true, because one of the things I do, like my trash day is on Wednesday. So Tuesday, I'm usually gathering stuff, making sure what needs to go out. That's the day at the evening, I just mop my kitchen floor. My kitchen and dining room is connected. So I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I usually do the bathroom on Friday night, just in case, company may come on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I've gotten those 2 areas done, and those other areas, and then of course, when you make your bed every day, that really helps you, that motivates you, that encourages you and inspires you, especially when you come home and you see a made bed and you don't have to push things aside. So think about that as well.
Yes, and I love every bit of it. So, I also love, I'm going to say this part, and of course we will close out when you said, getting your mom away from this, doing everything on Saturday. And I'm sure that is a lot of people's lives, where it's like, okay, Saturday is just my day. That's just what I do, or maybe for some people it's Sunday, but it's like, give yourself that time back so you can do things that you really enjoy. Maybe that's time with family. Maybe that's going and just, oh man, I'm just going to go watch a movie. I'm going to go into the movies. I'm going to go have dinner, whatever those fun things are, so you can get some fun back into your life, because sometimes we get so seriously bombarded, overwhelmed in our day-to-day life. And it's just something as simple as, like you said, focus on one area at a time. Plan for that little bit of few minutes to get you an hour back. Or plan for that hour to get you 3 or 4 hours back. When you said that, I'm like, man, I'm going for the hour, because I want the 3 and 4 hours back. You motivated me. So thank you, Janet, so much. And like I say, to our listeners, maybe you're saying, man, I need a little bit more order. I need somebody to help me through this and getting organized. This is something that I actually saw on your website. You said getting organized is a journey that you don't have to do alone. And so I think as we close out, let's just remind, everyone that's listening, you don't have to do it alone. Maybe it's too much. Maybe you're overwhelmed in the part about even thinking about planning to do it. And that's where that helps come in. So if you want to connect with Janet, you go to the show description where there's more details to connect with her. on Instagram and LinkedIn, Janet the Organizer, on her website, janetmtaylor.com. So easy because it's her name. And then you know what? Organizer, Janet the Organizer. I think that's so easy to remember. So the question is, how are you starting out your year? And that's how we'll end that, which brings me to this moment. I am here to serve as your life growth coach, offering one-on-one empowerment speaking, group coaching. What can you do? You know, go to my website, gstylecoaching.com. Let's work together in the show description and let's just shift into the next level of growth together and do it organized and get us some time back and some money. Man, I love it. So in the meantime, please go to the Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to this platform, and rate the podcast, comment, follow, yes, and share. And Janet, is there anything you want to say to us before I say my last word?
I guess I just want to reiterate 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again. And we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And as you look in your closet and even in your home, if you are not using it and you no longer love it, there's probably somebody else out there who would just be so, thankful to receive it. So think about that as we are in this new year.
So then you're able to give to someone else. So it's not like just going away. It's like, you know what? I'm doing some good service here. Let me give this to someone else that really can enjoy it and not just put it in the back of my closet or shoved in the drawer. So thank you so much, Janet. Thank you for crowning us with, getting organized and simplifying our life. I know I walked away with a golden nugget, and I hope everyone else did as well. And you know what? If you did, just go ahead and share what that is and keep sharing. And in saying all of that, until next time, sisters, let's get intentional about our growth, because growth all starts with you.